Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Black Friday special reading. And this reading is kind of interesting when it finally fell into place to be able to get back into doing readings, but it actually falls on the day prior to our total lunar eclipse full moon in Virgo at 12 degrees. And so this is interesting because it technically, officially, ends our eclipse bridge season, which happens to be a hybrid eclipse this particular eclipse season. So the first eclipse was on February 17th in Aquarius at 28 degrees, and that's about 2 weeks long. So our 2 week marker is about up tomorrow on March 3rd. And this particular full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo at 12 degrees is on March 3rd. So just remember, eclipses eclipse things in or out, usually permanently in life. So that can be people, places, things, stuff, anything, but it usually tends to be permanent changes. And those are those non-negotiable changes that we really have nothing to say about. And it really redirects our path, our journey ahead, this card. And like I said, it can be small, medium, or large, but it can be very life impacting or life affecting. So this particular card, this has got a lot of Virgo energy in it. So not necessarily that you're a Virgo, but it could be somebody in your environment or you might have been involved with that had Virgo in their chart. Again, I can see a lot of money. I can see a lot of assets, maybe cash possessions, any sort of material or earthly goods involved. We have somebody who's been sitting idle, sitting in isolation. Now, I would not say isolation forced upon, but sitting in solitude, isolation, maybe living behind the scenes or just kind of below the radar for that can be for various reasons. But during this time, whoever this reading is for, that has gained great wisdom. Great knowledge, great insight, the quietness, and this is also, expanding your horizons and tapping in with that outer energy for the divine connection or higher power connection, universal cosmic connection, or with your God, whoever that is to you. This particular card, when I look at this can be a relationship that has maybe been fairly long. So if you look at the old man's face, it's worn, it's haggard, it's got wrinkles, it's got age against it, which means this can give an indication of something long term. So that could have been a long term friendship. It could have been a long-term marriage at one point, or it could have been a long-term business venture with somebody, okay? And so we also have the sun involved, that this would have been a successful business or a successful relationship or partnership at one time, but that came to a close for various reasons. So this could involve a Virgo, it could involve a Leo placement. Not necessarily it's you, could be in your chart, could be in the person who you're involved with in their chart as well. Okay, and so when I see this particular spread and these cards, there is something that has been going on in the background that is about to be revealed. Someone's going to really basically be dumped on their rear end or exposed or revealed for what they actually are. There was a lot of deceit, a lot of deception, a lot of lies, a lot of falsehoods that have been going on in the background. And I would say this has a possibility to be going on about 10 years. Could be 10 months, could be 10 years, because we have 10s written all over this particular spread. Okay, so take it as it lands. It can be in that time frame. And this, like I said, this is very interesting because there was success and victory at one point in time, or happiness or cheeriness. But like again, if this was business, it would have been a successful business endeavor at one time. And this particular card, and this is also about playing your cards right. I'm just seeing this in this particular spread. This card particularly represents looking past the obvious, looking at the bigger picture of what's going on. There was something going on with this person in the background. So if there happened to be like a parting of the ways or something, there has been a lot of deceit, deception in the background. So whether that be people messing around with money, funds, channeling money where it doesn't belong, misappropriated funds, stolen funds, things or assets going missing, or that can be just spread of lies, deception, and falsehood. So that would be like kind of slandering your person or your integrity or your image or reputation, those kind of things. And this, again, when we look at this picture, these pictures, again, long term. And again, that's so Saturnian. And it's like maybe one day the light bulb goes off and you see this, or maybe even knowing this has been going on the whole time and just letting karma play its role. And I do see the second part of that reading being more accurate. You correct or clear up, or you've done as much as you can do, and you're letting the divine or karma take over. And I can see that happening. And when we have this here, looking beyond the obvious, taking a higher look, or a larger view, a bigger look at the larger spectrum picture, we see the fairies floating around here. And I can see this has been a bit of a bumpy or rough ride. Because we have mountains in the background. And when I see the mountains in the background, that means it's been hurdles, it's been troublesome, it's been problem after problem after problem, consistently always having to feel like you're always climbing a hill or climbing that next mountain. There's been nothing smooth or flowing about this particular relationship or partnership or whatever this is pertaining to. It can be like in multiple different ways. It's been a rough road and a tough climb. And when we see this journey, this is the journey of life. And so this is, to me, this is like transitioning or transforming from one particular cycle to the next. And that's what makes me think this come to a close at some particular point. I'm just going to read this little insert from the journey card. It's time to prepare for a journey. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. Pack your passport now. And so this actually tells me a couple different things. Again, so this is the next step, the next phase in this journey, or it can be the absolute conclusion, resolution. Somebody is going to get their ass exposed for what they have been doing. Like a full, complete reveal, a full, complete exposure of the deception that's been going on in the background, or things that have been stolen, things that have been hidden. Where things come full circle, karma bus comes to town, karma plays its role, okay? Or universal law stepping in. That's something else that's coming in. And just remember, when universal law happens to step in, nobody outruns that. So I see in this particular spread that this person probably would have been given ample opportunity, ample time zone, like years, to make things right, operate with integrity, do the right thing, but they chose to be deceitful. They chose to operate in a lack of integrity. So this person probably would have been, overpowering, wanting to control everything their way, difficult to meet halfway, difficult listening skills, difficult just to work with. It would be somebody who would kind of win at all costs attitude. So it doesn't matter if it's lies, cheat, scheme, deception, false. So they would have done whatever it takes to get where they're at. So lots of times people like that, it can be a short-lived victory. What do I mean by that? I mean, they'll take every scammy or deceptive avenue to try hold on to what they want, whether it's reputation or money or assets or whatever they're trying to preserve. Or in this case, I do believe with their public reputation, just to try, mask it, hold on to what they want displayed to the public. Or it would be like saving face, doing whatever it takes to save face in the public eye. But eventually that catches up with him when there is a super lack of integrity. So, holding on and doing things to hold on and retain power, status, control, a public reputation that really is non-existent. It's a falsehood. It's a false face. It's somebody wearing a mask. They are not the person they appear to be. And this is kind of coming around full spectrum. And over time, and whether this is male or female, this person has aged a lot in about 10 years. They don't look the same. They might have been youthful at one time, but they've grown old and haggard, and that usually happens to be the karmic outcome of those types of behaviors. But they probably won't see that, but everybody else around will see it. And then there will be a day that comes when that person looks in that mirror, and pretty soon they realize who is that person. That person is not only the same person inside, but the outer look, the haggard, the worn. And so this actually could include addiction problems or alcoholism or anything like that has been going on for the last 10 years. So when that happens, that tends to be somebody, the escape artist, right? The escapism tactics or methods. And if it happens to be alcohol or drugs or prescription drugs or the combination of whatever, or just poor lifestyle, lack of rest or sleep, or that attack of conscience, that wears on a person and it really physically ages a person, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So when I see that, and somebody who might have had green eyes might have had something to do with this. So it might not have been the person you're involved with, might not be you, but if it wasn't either or, it might have been. It could have been a supporting factor on the outside, somebody who had green eyes that would have been supporting you, helping you along this path or this journey. And quite a journey it was. Anyway, we see the journey, and it's taking it step, phase, chapter, and moving on. But something kind of takes a flip to script. It turns a 180. It's almost like all of a sudden when all this deception is surfaced and revealed over like that span of 10 years or so, or somewhere in that neighborhood, things take a terrible turn for whoever's been in deception. Well, I shouldn't say terrible. It's well-deserved. They earned it. They worked real hard, but it caught up with them, right? And so it's kind of like that ace in your pocket. So that's like a new circuit, and all of a sudden, the truth came out of what happened or whatever went on, and that becomes a closure, a culmination, and the truth is out, and everything. It's almost like the tables would turn in your favor. And again, journey, and this is movement ahead. And we can see this. So this can also include not only the journey ahead, but this can actually involve travel or physical travel, flying somewhere, vacation, or you could actually be moving or thinking of moving. And when I see a movement, and that's almost like lightning speed movement when you see this movement ahead. So that could be physically, emotionally, mentally, and we're moving on, moving into that next section, that next cycle. And this here too, this is a revealer of truth too, this card. This is a spirit owl card. So this is about communication. That's about, when you get that out of the blue, shocking, surprise, reveal, revelation, or exposure. Somebody got exposed for what they were, they not how they appeared. That's this card. Owls always talk their wisdom, their knowledge, their experience, but they also talk the truth. And again, we have exposure going on over and over and over. And we have the fairies helping us in the background, by the way, too. We see a lot of green, which indicates something going on in the background, like I said, with money, assets, possessions, or just being straight greedy, but it comes back to bite this person in the ass, whoever this is. And we see a lot of yellow. So, when we see lots of yellow involved, again, that's with the fairies. We have the fairies in the background helping us and the illumination. And this is about kind of, it's been a long cycle. I can see that. And, and over this time span of 10 years-ish, or in that time frame, 1 to 10 years, somewhere in that 10-year marker, this makes a person feel old and worn out. Not that you are, but it's very energy consuming. It's very time consuming. It's very draining. It's very depleting. It makes you feel old from the inside out. Not that you are, you wouldn't even probably look it, but people who are energy suckers or energy vampires are hard on anybody's system, okay? But this particular, it's just kind of crazy how this, this kind of reads to me about just complete exposure. They get caught with their pants down. And this particular card, again, it just kind of hovers around what I just said. Living in the past creates depression. Living in the future creates anxiety. Living in the present creates calm and peace. Figure out where you are in this position in life. And so I think you are in the now, the calm and the peace. Because like I said, I just feel karma taking over. You sat back and you controlled yourself, you controlled your emotions, you controlled your actions, your mental thinking. You've controlled everything about your own person within. And therefore, basically sitting back and saying, you know what, I will do the right thing regardless. I will give this person ample opportunity to do the right thing. And as long as I'm living in high integrity, I know karma will come back with karmic rewards and karmic consequences for the person who is of the lack of integrity mindset. And we can sit there and say, but see this. So if someone was actually knowing this was going on in the environment, whether it be family, friends, you can actually see this playing out. And again, this somebody it'd be easy to pick out because it's somebody who's aged and aged hard over 10 years. And you'll definitely see that with, the lines and the stress and the tension in the face. Anybody who thinks they outrun these kind of things, they never do. They never do. The longer it goes on, the worse the consequences. The longer it goes on, the harsher. Actually, you know what? The consequences come with interest, added interest. And so eventually, this person will be left with absolutely nothing because they killed their own integrity. They killed their own person, their own being, their own ego. They killed their own public reputation. And when that is killed and done and over with, the game's up, it's done, it's finished. The respect, the public respect is gone, the trust is gone, the integrity is gone, the honor, the loyalty, anything is actually completely wiped out with this person. They will not either lose everything, probably financially, physically, but they would have pushed or turned off everybody that they would have initially at one time considered friends or family, which is unfortunate. But again, it's what comes around goes around. What you put out there, you get back. And a lot of people will say, they might not believe in that, but I can actually say you did, because that's how you operated with integrity and you let karma play its role, right? Knowing that there's karmic consequences from start to finish. So whoever this person is in the circumstances coming out, like looking really, really good, learn these lessons early in life. So lots of times this can be that old soul, that old person who kind of knows those things maybe at a younger age or has got it figured out quicker than the rest. And so that's really good, and good on you for doing so. Okay, and when we have this card, Kahithal, this is known as the Ace of Pentacles. And this particular card, this is divine blessings and drives away evil spirits. Okay, and it rules agriculture and production. So again, this is being completely exposing and revealing all the evil energy and evil people involved in this. And again, this often will split the hairs between people who you thought were friends, true friends, and people who were not. So lots of times this can really be a sad journey on gaining new friends who are supportive for the positive, and losing friends, well, they probably really weren't friends at all. And you can kind of tell who supports what side, kind of where their integrity or their honor or their values or value systems or value structures lie. And so sometimes that can be kind of quite disappointing, but you know what? It's needed, because you have to make decisions to let people like that go, because they no longer resonate. They no longer in the same vibrational state as what you would be. But this person, and probably this is you. This is somebody who would be very, very good in the money realm, the finances, the business, and probably would like to have their finger stuck in the dirt or the garden or, in agriculture, those kind of things too. And this can be, again, that new push off, that new cycle in life. So, at one point, if you, whatever the relationship was with this person, if it happened to be business relationship, but you're starting off on a new journey, a new cycle in life. Aces of Pentacles are always a new start on the material, earthly realm, and lots of times this can be gifts of money coming in. And remember, that can be part of the karmic rewards, right? And so we also have Archangel Gabriel, and God is my strength is written on this card. Neat little cards. And it's the Moon card. And this is divine revelation, reveals messages, and has power to destroy. Again, this is complete and utter reveal and exposure of what has went on in the background with this person. Again, I have a feeling this has got to do with partnerships, relationships, and business. This could be all three things rolled into one relationship with two people, or it could be separate. Again, you have Archangel Gabriel sitting in your back pocket. And these two cards are really working nicely together. Again, drives away evil spirits. And this particular card has the power to destroy. So that tells me it's driving away all the evil, all the bad, all the deception. And it's going to completely destroy it. And that destroy it was going to be... Essentially, you know what? This person will blame everybody but themselves. And they've completely destroyed themselves based on negative actions, bad behaviors, lies, deception, falsehoods. Essentially, they've destroyed themselves. And this person, whoever this is, would have no idea probably how karma works, or what you put out there you get back. They would think they would be untouchable, indestructible, and the rules don't apply to me. And unfortunately, that tends to go down the kind of that narcissistic avenue. And so, it's everybody else's fault but their own that they made these choices. They could be the only person in the room, but they're still going to blame somebody else. Just a real lack of responsibility and a real lack of accountability for their actions, their behaviors. And often this can be pinpointed back to where they were raised, how they were raised, and kind of what went on in their childhood or background, unfortunately. Okay, so that being said, this is actually a really, really, really positive reading for you. And it's going to be a real kick in the ass for whoever this is going to have the karmic consequences fed to them by the spoonful. And because it's been 10 years, within that 1 to 10 year marker, the closer to 10 years, the harsher the consequences. And like I said, the longer this goes on unchecked and the behaviors are bad, what happens is usually it comes with high added interest. Okay, so you will pay for that in a big way. And again, sitting in solitude, isolation, behind the scenes, under the radars, which you've been doing for a very, very long time. I can tell by that. Okay, but you're taking time and patience and really sifting through your feelings and your thoughts in every avenue of consequence A, this is B, path C, path D. What would happen if I did this? What would happen if I do that? Very, very, very methodical, very analytical. And I'm hearing something, and it basically said the patience to sit and wait. Patience, waiting, can be very, very ruthless and not having to do a thing. And when I mean ruthless, I don't mean you. I mean ruthless as in karma being paid in full, where it belongs. Interesting. I guess I get patient, a very, very patient person. And I guess I'm getting a lot of Leo energy, a lot of Virgo energy. What else do we have here? And again, this could actually involve some Cancerian energy or people with Cancer in their chart as well. Patient and ruthless for karma to do its serve up its hand, serve up its consequences. Okay, so this is a very, very nice reading. This is really a kick-ass reading. It means business, and it's just basically you did the right thing all along, and you give every ample opportunity for the person to do the same, but that didn't happen. So that takes time, that takes patience, that takes wisdom, that takes experience. And lots of stuff going on behind the scenes, whether it's meditation or tapping into the divine or doing your homework, study, research, talking to professionals and how to handle whatever was going on, but you did it and you did it exceptionally well. Good on you. Okay. So we are going to gather up these cards. That's going to take the card reading. And I'm going to move over to the coffee teacup reading. Okay. And so we will do this. And so I can see when we look at this, there has been a full scale of something that needed to be done from top to bottom, meaning it's going to be step 1, step through step 10. And I can see there has been just a lot of drama, a lot of conflict that have gone in, a lot of garbage and a lot of rubbish. Rubbish. And you know what? It just seems, it looks like kind of maybe I see a dog. And there's also, I can see like an axe or a pickaxe or a hammer or something involved as well. And so that tells me this was kind of building blocks from start to go. And when I see that, that can also mean there probably was an animal lover in here, somebody who loved animals. And somebody who did a lot of work or a lot of responsibility within this relationship for that happened to be long term. And when I see this and this reading and this energy, it definitely would have been long term. And when I look at this, there has been dips, highs, and lows throughout this whole thing. Like, it almost reminds me of the heart monitor where it's beeping, it's up and down and up and down. It would have been nothing that was smooth and steady flowing. It's always up and down energy. And when I look at this, zigzags. It's curvy, it's all over, it's bulky. Again, lots of hammers. This could involve somebody who was good with their hands, or maybe somebody who had a carpenter business, or knows somebody with a prominent carpenter business. And this looks sticky. Maybe somebody has sticky fingers. And again, I see a big V here. And as soon as I see that V, it reminds me of Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day maybe should have been a special day, but it was always overlooked. That was something else that could be very unspecial. And somebody's name may have had an S in it. And starting of an S, like Steve, or a name with an S in it. And again, this person could actually have heart problems or heart issues, or find out that they have heart issues or heart issues within a family. And you know what? I'm going to dump that out and see what happens here. Again, hammers. Hammer. I keep on seeing hammers in here. Hammers and hooks. Okay. And again, a bumpy ride. And this could have about 3 people involved here as well. And again, when I see agriculture, I see leaves and I see formation. So farming and carpentry could have played a role with this person too. Both or one or the other. Again, peppers. I could see peppers, hot peppers, chili peppers. Again, that's going into that gardening. And again, that could be you or that could be this person. Or things could have been hot and then cold. This person could have been very mentally unbalanced, meaning they could have tempers in check 1 minute and next minute they're crazy out of hand. Everything could have been good 1 minute and just totally erratically out of hand, out of control, or rage, anger, out of control behavior, in and out of control. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so that will conclude that part. And I'm going to see if we have anything self-destructive. I just got self-destructive energy, self-destruction involved. And this has something to do with her eyes. Eye health, eye problems. And this is, again, this can be heart health. If it's not them, it could be something that runs in the family. This has got something to do with eyes, eye quality, eye health. Maybe they're having eye problems. And somebody who can't sit and relax. This person can't sit and relax, has got no state of calm or doesn't know how. When I see that kind of energy come through, this would be somebody who could be on the go, hyperactive, and to the point where it can burn. He or she could have burned you out because they can't sit still. So not only do they burn themselves out, they burn others out around them. It's too much energy. So when I see that, often that is linked with Aries, any sort of fire sign. So that could be Aries, Leo, and that could be Sagittarius. Again, can't sit still, here, there, all over the place, and burnout stage. Okay. And so that would really tell me a lot, where that person cannot control their temper, cannot control their anger, cannot control their reactions or responses. In and out of control is what I keep on seeing and hearing. Okay, so that will close our Black Friday special reading. But I'm going to publish, and this is actually a really good reading, because it means finally what you worked so hard for in the last 10 years is finally going to pan out. You're going to start seeing results, and it's taken a long time, but you've had the time and the patience. Okay, we're going to pull one leaf. Gong, an exciting event. Okay, yay, there we go. See, it's just what I said. This just basically confirms some good karmic rewards, some good karmic results coming in, and payment and payoff for your hard work, your hard efforts, especially implementing patience. Okay, and I'll show you Gong, and there we go. And Gong is an exciting event coming in. So yay on you. And again, I can see erratic energy. And, I'm just going to point out, do tread a little carefully and a little cautiously, because when the truth start coming out and this people start finding out that they have been found out, they have been exposed, revelations have come to light, normally that does not go well. Okay, so apply that accordingly. If this happens to be domestic or anything, just do apply that cautionary applicably. Okay, so until we talk again, stay happy, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and take care of each other. And if you like the reading, click like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because it's free. And if you are interested, you can join me on my Midnight Bisous Tarot, which is, of course, this channel, my 7th Heaven Junk Drawer. Or my Soup to Nuts Astrology plus Health and Anatomy are my YouTube channels, and Facebook, Midnight Bisous Tarot and Oracle. Midnight Bisous C'est La Vie Astrology, Jump into Its Rhythm. Those are both of my Facebook groups. And my Etsy shop, Midnight Bisous Tarot and Oracle. And my eBay shop is Midnight Bisous Tarot, Oracle, and Astrology. And I have some dream journal, and I have some oracle cards on there. And I do sell Jenny Florence's The Art of Manifestation deck in my Etsy shop as well. So you can visit me there if you are looking or interested. Anyway, we will speak again, and bye for now.